You know, it's a small world, and it's easier to do good than you may think.
The University of Maryland's Do Good campus is pioneering a new model of higher education.
A place where students are inspired to take action, spur innovation, and tackle, yes, tackle, the grand challenges of our time.
I'll see you next year, and in between that time, go out and do more good.
Serve as the director of the Do Good Institute. And it is also my great pleasure to have come up to the podium the leader who has empowered Terps to go fiercely forward and tackle the grand challenges of today now, and has been the individual who has taken our Do Good campus to new heights. Please give a big round of applause for President Pine!
And how about the Do Good Challenge? Are you excited? This night is a celebration of how the University of Maryland and Terps are making progress. That often starts small. Maybe it's an idea sparked by a conversation with a friend walking on the Kelvin Mall. Maybe it's an idea sparked by an assignment in a new class. Maybe it's an idea sparked by a concert, a lecture, an art exhibit, or a competition. But all it takes is something small to begin to change the world. As we have seen time and time again, the Terp community is passionate and wants to make a difference, not at some distant point in time, but today. So when a new project comes along that can help people, we get on board in a really, really big way. That's because the University of Maryland is dedicated to improving the lives of all humankind and serving the public good. The teams that are competing tonight in the Do Good Challenge are part of that movement. They are part of how the University of Maryland will continue to transcend our campus and make the world a better, safer, and more equitable place. So you are witnessing one of the first steps on the way to the next generation of a transformative, impactful solution. Making it onto the stage of the Do Good Challenge Finals is a real accomplishment. And these students have already done a tremendous amount of good. With your support now and into the future, you can help them scale up and inspire others to follow. So let's make sure we do good here and do good everywhere. Let's make sure we do good now and do good in the future. And let's keep changing the world together. And let's always remember to go Terps!
All right, thank you, President Pine. Listen, our efforts wouldn't be possible without the incredible friendship, collaboration, and partnership of all of you out here tonight. And I would like to take a few moments to thank some incredible partners that have made the Do Good Challenge possible. First, I want to thank the company that has been the lead sponsor of the Do Good Challenge since 2013. Please give a round of applause for Morgan Stanley Private Wealth Management. transformational partnership and the invaluable friendship in advancing all aspects of do good, including the challenge, by the Rothschild Foundation. And please give a round of applause for our newest Do Good Challenge sponsor, the Equitable Foundation. And since 2012, we've had one group that's been taking exquisite photos of the Do Good Challenge. And every year they are so beautiful. Let's have a round of applause for Free Photography. I also want to take a moment to thank Provost Rice and Dean Orr for their incredible leadership and support. They have helped the Do Good Challenge, the Do Good Institute, and the Do Good Campus reach heights that we had never imagined before. Let's hear a round of applause for Provost Rice and Dean Orr. Today, thousands of student leaders are making an impact in their communities, and we are incredibly grateful for the visionary partnership and leadership of the Levinson Family Foundation. I want to also thank the incredible Do Good Institute faculty and staff that have made this event possible. Let's give them all one round of applause. Now, those of you who know me know that I am a low energy, very calm person, not a lot of enthusiasm. But this year has been an incredible year for our Do Good campus. I'm just going to give you just a few tastes of that. We've been running the Do Good mini grants program for student teams for over 11 years. This year we had triple the number of student team applicants, and we funded triple the number of student projects. This year we had 1,900 students apply this spring for our Impact Interns program, and we doubled the number of paid internships with nonprofits and social impact organizations. We launched a Do Good Campus Fund for the first time, and we had 140 applications from every school and college, and we're funding 27 compelling projects that are from every corner of the campus. Our Do Good Accelerator had its largest cohort ever, and our Do Good Labs research has been on everything. CNN, NPR, Washington Post, Bloomberg News. And let me just mention one more thing. Sorry, you know I'm a little enthusiastic. We also have here tonight, which I think is pretty exciting, the outstanding young alumnus of the entire university for 2022 and 2023. They're here because they're both former champions of the Do Good Challenge, and tonight, Faraz Shah and Cedric Noirfor will also be judges of the Do Good Challenge. And we have several things to look forward to in the future. We got an exciting public art exhibit coming, but I'm going to close by emphasizing that in our new building in Thurgood Marshall Hall, we have a Change the World exhibit with stories of how students and alums have made a difference in College Park and around the world. And to add a little more fun to tonight, we're going to present 3 of those stories during the night. And for the first time, later tonight, you'll get to vote for one of these former Do Good Challenge champions. There's going to be 3 stories of 3 former Do Good Challenge champions, and you'll get to vote for a prize for one of our alum Do Good Challenge champion groups. So let's get started with the story of the...
One day we were standing near the pizza and pasta station in the South Campus dining hall, and it was like 5 minutes before closing, and there was a good amount of it left, and so we kind of asked the guy, like, hey, are you gonna throw that out? And it turned out they were. So we talked to the head of dining services. She gave us an opportunity to basically recover this food and to donate it.
We found that there was surplus food from basketball games and football games in multiple areas at University of Maryland. What we saw was high quality, nutritious foods that hunger fighting nonprofits in the area could really use. We had every night of the week a recovery. Students would drive the food immediately after picking up the food on campus and deliver it to people in need.
So preparing for the Do Good Challenge, I remember we rehearsed the thing like literally 100 times. When we got up on stage that night, our nerves definitely were rolling.
Our grand prize winner tonight is, and a big congratulations to the Food Recovery Network.
And I remember this pit of reporters, and were asking us a whole bunch of questions, and $5,000 just felt like the world to us back then, and it really did help us a lot. It just gave us this sense of momentum. A bunch of other students joined the program. By the end of the first year, Food Recovery Network had already donated 30,000 meals. One moment that was really special was getting a phone call from the Sodexo Foundation that they wanted to give us $300,000 because it was such a big bet to place to donate that amount of money to students and invest in them.
We were able to expand to now over 200 college campuses across the country that have donated over 10 million pounds of food.
We really did it, and it's still around today.
Can you believe they grew from a single chapter here at UMD to nearly 200 chapters across the country? I'm Sarah Youssef-Najad Gallagher, Associate Director for the Do Good Institute. This is my favorite event of the year, and I know that there are many of you in the audience who share my love of the Do Good Challenge. And I want to hear from you. If you've been to a Do Good Challenge before, make some noise. I thought I was going to have to ask you to do it again. That was awesome, just for fun. Do it again. If you've been to a Do Good Challenge before, let me hear you make some noise. Okay, awesome. And for our new friends, if you have never been to a Do Good Challenge, this is your first event, please let me hear you make some noise. Okay, little friendly competition there. Well, for our new friends, I'll have you know we're a very fun and enthusiastic bunch, and you're really in for a treat tonight. I want to personally thank all of you for being here, whether you've been here from the start or this is your very first event. We have a full agenda for you tonight, so let me take a few minutes to share a little bit about how the evening will work. First, our 6 finalist teams will have 5 minutes to share the impact that they've created, followed by a few minutes of Q&A with our hard-hitting and expert panel of judges. The judges get to decide who takes home first, second, and third place in each track. We'll also hear from 2 Do Good alums, the top 2 showcase teams who will give a lightning pitch on stage, and we're going to play a little trivia. As Bob mentioned, our judges aren't the only ones giving out prizes tonight, so we'll ask you to pay close attention to the program, because towards the end of the evening, after sundown, you'll have a chance to text to vote for your favorite finalist, showcase, and alum team, and you can help them take home additional cash prizes. We'll get things started with our project track finalists. These groups have chosen to maximize impact for a cause or existing organization through efforts like fundraising, volunteering, and awareness campaigns. Afterward, we'll hear from our venture teams. These are student-created social enterprises and nonprofit organizations focused on making a social impact. But before we hear tonight's pitches, it's my pleasure to introduce an incredibly impactful alum of our graduate certificate in nonprofit management and leadership, Armani McMillan. Armani is a passionate education advocate who has made significant strides in empowering youth through her work with Impact DMV. Please help me welcome Armani McMillan to the stage.
I'm here today because I did everything right. I was class president, I excelled in academics, I even participated in extracurricular activities to ensure I was admitted into the right college. And I was voted most likely to succeed. But I discovered doing everything right wasn't enough. I remember the devastation I felt packing up my dorm and withdrawing from school after the financial aid office informed me that I could only afford 1 semester of college. But that is likely a story you all have heard before. In high school, myself and my peers were woefully unprepared to handle the complexities of the college admissions process. Our guidance counselors, while well-intentioned, viewed graduation as a comma versus a period. They viewed graduation as a period rather than a comma. So they guided us to the comma of graduation, wished us well, and then left us to ourselves to finish our own sentences. Well, if you're going to court, you call a lawyer. And if you are sick, you see a doctor. But very few people in underserved communities recognize that they need a professional to guide them through the college application process. This is where Impact DMV comes in. We serve as the collegiate consultants that help high-achieving seniors navigate the college admission process and scholarships. Our focus is on high-achieving students that are often overlooked because we believe that they know everything and do not need help. Instead, we help guide them through the intricacies alongside their parents. Through our work with our Impact Your Acceptance program, 60 seniors have received over 650 college acceptances and more than $20 million in scholarships. And I'm proud to say that 15 of those scholars are in this very room today. These scholars are students like Sigrid, a first-generation student from Peru, who is graduating this spring completely debt-free. Or Joshua, another 2024 graduate from a low-income household who has secured an $80,000 starting salary as a construction engineer. And I don't want to forget to mention the 4 IYA alumni who went on to become proud Terps like myself. It's these successes that let us know that our mission matters, and that if we take time, tools, and resources to invest in the capable, bright young minds in our community, we will transform our lives. So my story taught me that every child deserves a hero, someone who recognizes their potential and guides them to achieving their wildest dreams. Do good is a ripple effect, and the ripple effect of doing good transforms lives. So today, as we celebrate all these great, significant achievements and all these incredible organizations who are doing good today, I urge you all to support our organizations, to get involved, and to make sure that you recognize that together we can make a difference. Thank you, and as always, be impactful.
Welcome to the stage our project judges.
Michelle Gilliard, Corporate Social Responsibility Leader for IBM Americas. Ian Gordon, Vice President for Community Engagement and Impact for the United Way of the National Capital Area. And Cedric Naufer, Chief Executive Officer of Roots Africa and 2021 Do Good Challenge winner. Welcome to the stage, AppDev Club.
Hello, everyone. My name is Samai Patel.
And my name is Matthews Kashal. And we're here today because the software engineering field has become so saturated. As University of Maryland students, we found that it is very challenging for our peers to get software engineering industry experience without having an internship prior. This especially being the case for those of underrepresented and underprivileged backgrounds, not having opportunities growing up in high school. That lack of opportunity making it challenging for them to catch up to their peers, land competitive jobs, and have the technological backbone to act upon their innovative ideas. While searching for opportunities for our members, we found that, on the other hand, there's a complete lack of resources and talent dedicated to socially impactful projects. This is where AppDev comes in to bridge the gap by empowering our students with a technological foundation through a boot camp. In our boot camp, we provide our students with skills with skills that are not currently taught in the computer science curriculum. On top of this, we pair each member with a mentor that not only guides them through the boot camp, but through their ever-growing tech careers. We do all of this to prepare our students for the club's main mission,
which is creating student-led projects that solve real-world problems. Let us talk to you about 3 projects that we've created in just this year. When a patient comes to the Children's National Hospital with a neck or spine injury, the device that is used to calculate the range of motion of this joint is often extremely invasive and sometimes extremely painful for the children that are being diagnosed. The students in our club came together to create a software that can non-invasively calculate the range of motion of this joint, such as your neck, using computer vision and a handheld phone camera. 15 students in our club had the opportunity to demo their project live for doctors in their Washington, D.C. location. And the solution we created is actually going to be deployed to be used sometimes this summer. In the fall, we are in works of expanding this project to be useful in their hospitals in the Cameroon that need this device, but to be used without internet connectivity. Once completely implemented, this project has the capacity to impact around 10,000 stakeholders per year. The next project that we have for you is through a collaboration with Amazon's Project Kuiper, which is an initiative to increase the global broadband network in underprivileged communities around the world through sending 3,000 satellites into low Earth orbit. The students in our club created a software that can track these satellites in low Earth orbit and see what their chances of colliding are. And this is so important because if satellite collisions occur, then internet access can go down in areas that desperately need it. Amazon was so impressed with what our students were able to achieve, stating that the students exceeded their expectations and created a software that would have otherwise costed around $300,000. Students on this campus create innovative ideas all the time that solve pressing problems. The problem with this, though, is sometimes those students do not have the technological backbone to actually act upon these innovative ideas that could have one day done immense social good. The FDA here on this campus holds an annual competition that allows students to pitch an idea that could help revolutionize the pharmacy industry. The problem with this is that no winner has ever made their idea a reality because none of the pharmacy students who often win this competition have tech backgrounds. The AppDev Club partnered with this year's winner, Pocket Peds, to create a mobile application that can help parents and caretakers accurately calculate safe dosages of medicine for children. At the end of the semester, the AppDev Club will have helped empower a majority female-run business to go pursue their dreams and make them a reality. Needless to say, the AppDev Club on this campus has made a massive impact, not only on this campus, but around the nation. Students have had the opportunity to demo their projects live for company sponsors from NVIDIA, NASA, Amazon, and much more. Students have also created immense communities as well as expanded their professional network. But don't just take our word for it. Meet Michael. Michael is a student in our boot camp that started in the fall and then transitioned into one of our project teams in the spring. He received his first ever software engineering internship for summer 2024 with one of the corporate sponsors of AppDev Club. In just 2 semesters, we have made immense impact and have grown to around 150 active members, giving 98 of these members life-changing, career-changing opportunities on their resume. And their hard work is evident, as AppDev Club has developed 90,000 lines of code as well as created $500,000 worth of software development technology. In partnership with our corporate sponsors, we have also created 8 direct summer 2024 internship opportunities for our students, as well as 3 startups through students in our community.
We are just starting to make a difference, and we can do a lot more with your support. Given the prize funding, we would put it towards increasing and growing the size and scope of this club. We do this by investing the money into better equipment for our members, supplemental educational resources, covering transportation costs to and from demos that our members present, as well as funding the beginnings of a new AppDev Club chapter in the University of South Florida. As you can see, this money directly translates to more impact on this campus. With over 700 applicants and only 150 spots, We know that there are much more students that deserve this opportunity, and we do not have the resources to reach them. Given your assistance, we will open 2 to 3 more semesters 2 to 3 more projects per semester, opening 30 spots on each project, and giving 6 to 8 internships per sponsored company every semester. All of this generating more student-led solutions to pressing problems.
Together, here on this campus, we can make the future that our students envision a reality. Please join us in our mission, and thank you so much for your time.
Good evening, gentlemen. Very impressive. Thank you for the work that you're doing. It's clearly impactful. The first question I have for you is, what's the biggest challenge that you're having aside from money in terms of scaling? What's the biggest challenge that you're having?
I think that the biggest challenge beyond scaling was a challenge that we faced at the beginning when we started. And that challenge is, how are students in college going to create a software that is going to be deployed at the Children's National Hospital and make a real world impact? And that's a challenge that we've been fighting every single day since we've started. And that's just going to continue. The more that we want to continue to expand, the more resources we need to dedicate to our students in order for them to have the capacity to actually act upon these projects. So for an example, with the Children's National Hospital, they had so many more projects that they wanted us to do, but we didn't have the compute power, the machine learning power to actually innovate that idea and make it a reality. And that's a problem because then it's basically taking away opportunities from students in our campus. And that's why we're here at Do Good. We want that money so we can actually give the students the technological, the tech that they need to actually make these projects a reality, and that will help us in that big challenge.
And how much would it cost to at least, let's say, triple the number of students that you're currently serving? You talked about the number of applications you have, the number you're actually serving. What would it take to triple that number?
So what it would take to triple that number would be around, to quickly understand your question, is it how much it would take to triple the number to the 98 students that work on a project, to triple that number to 290 or whatever that is?
So I'm trying to figure out how much would it cost you to triple the number of students that you're serving. If you're trying to scale the number of students that you're ultimately serving, basically what's the cost per student currently, and how much would it take to triple?
So the current cost per student is, just to get that triple number, I think the $5,000 that Do Good would be able to give us is enough to triple that number. And the reasoning being is that if we're able to replicate the approach that we've done with the AppDev Club here on University of Maryland and then implement that in FSU, that costed around $2,250 around, and that's going to be dedicated into that project, which would already double the number. And then with the other money that we said that would create 3 or 4 more semester opportunities for our projects on this campus, that would give us the amount to actually get that triple number that you're looking for.
Thank you.
Okay, really great presentation, and I like the fact that you combined data and stories of the impact that you've actually made, and the demo was also very exciting. My first question is about what happens when you guys graduate?
What happens when we graduate? That's a good question. We honestly would like to leave a legacy, and we have a club full of engaging, a club full of motivated, inspired individuals that we trust will take this more than South Florida, take this to UMBC, maybe nationwide. I won't get ahead of myself. But we're definitely preparing the groundworks and the grassroots so this does become a legacy, and we'll tap in and be productive alumni as well, for sure.
And to add on to that, the students that participate on these projects, majority of them are underclassmen, so freshmen and sophomores. The talent that they have is absolutely amazing, and we know that they'll be able to carry on that legacy once we graduate.
Okay, great answer. My second question is, why expand? Have you exhausted UMD?
That is a great question. There's always more people to reach. We'll always be expanding in UMD. It's just about getting to as much people as possible, and gives us a reason to become a nonprofit as well, so that's always good.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is each individual project that we create That's a new nonprofit, basically, that's brought onto the world. The more that we can expand, then the more good that's being done all around this world. So that's why we want to expand. The hospitals in Florida need their help. The hospitals in California, all across the nation, all of them need our help. And the more local that the students are, then the more likely that impact is actually to be made, rather than just being okay and being content with just helping the children at the DC location.
Good answer. Thank you.
All right. Out of respect of time, we'll see my question.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Joe.
Appreciate it. Thank you all.
Welcome to the stage, Dare to Dream.
Before we start, I just want to show up authentically. I've thrown up twice. I even had to change my shirt, but we still wanted to come out here and show our impact. So, just a year ago, I stood on the brink of an audacious dream, making resources more accessible for marginalized communities, but at the time, I felt I stood alone.
Yet she was far from alone, because for as long as I remember, I have challenged the notion that our communities should choose the safe path over doing what they're most passionate about. But why compromise when we can do both?
Historically, these communities have used entrepreneurship as a means to chase their dreams while financially providing for themselves and their families. So why not use and teach entrepreneurship as a catalyst for dream chasing? Actually, we started an organization that does just that. Hi, my name is Takai Imani, and I'm the founder and co-executive dreamer at Dare to Dream.
Hi, my name is Abby Oseguera, and I'm co-executive director at Dare to Dream. With our team of 25 students at UMD, we work to empower underrepresented communities to chase their dreams through entrepreneurship.
Do you think we should tell them how we do it?
I mean, do you really want to share our secret formula?
I mean, they seem pretty cool.
I guess. So first we start by building community. We host showcases, panels, and networking events that center ambitious youth that represent the same backgrounds that the youth we serve come from, in order for them to encourage them to dream big. Then, we provide custom entrepreneurial education for ages K through 12 and 18 through 27, and we teach them how to best leverage their interests and business principles to achieve their goals, all while partnering with key institutions like the University of Maryland to broaden our impact. And finally, we make sure we integrate pre-seed funding and business building experience into all of our programs, because real visions require real money.
We would love for all of you to meet some of the dreamers that have been impacted by this very formula.
Let's start with Hardeen, who leveraged the Dare to Dream community to grow his skills as a programmer to secure one of his dreams, being a full-time software engineer at Robinhood a full year before he was supposed to graduate, and co-founded his own tech company teaching youth from our communities how to best use their online resources.
Or Astrid, the founder of Cordo A, who used our events to refine the selling of her handcrafted Cameroonian bags and has since started selling her products in retail stores, let alone all of the other young dream chasers that we support. Over the last year and a half, we have completed dreamer experiences at 4 schools across Prince George's County, impacting over 750 students, where 10% come back and join our community.
These events range from after-school panels to in-school assemblies, where administrators replace their regular instruction with the value of our programming, reflecting a shared belief in the transformative power of youth's dreams. But that's not it for our K-12 programming, is it?
Nope, it's not. In a paid pilot program last fall, every student left with a clear sense of purpose, a viable business plan, and a robust network of mentors. Thanks to powerful testimonials like these, just last week we were able to close 2 contracts worth over $100,000 to deliver programming next fall. And we just wrapped our 16-week Launchpad program in partnership with the Dingman Center for Entrepreneurship and Junior Achievement, teaching high school students how to build their business from the ground up.
Wow, that's a lot we've accomplished. But don't forget our collegiate and post-collegiate training.
Oh, I didn't forget. Over the last 18 months, we have developed a series of community building events called Small Artists, Big Talent. 4 in which, partnership with Startup Show, we've showcased over 50 vendors, 25 performers, and we've had an attendance of over 1,000 dreamers. Now, where does that lead us?
Great question. 15% of our audience join us at our next event as either vendors or performers, proving that these events are about more than just providing entertainment, but inspiring our audience, like you, to take action to chase their dreams.
Meet Ed Lamar, a dreamer who used small artist, big talent to transform his hobby to a full-fledged business, and now frequently vends across the country to share his art with the world.
We've been working hard to develop our collegiate opportunities for older youth like Ed Lamar, so we'd love to introduce the Dare to Dream Playground, allowing emerging entrepreneurs to safely experiment with their ideas and grow their skills. This program allows dreamers to use each other's skill sets to grow their ventures, collaborate to tackle larger opportunities, and grow the networks they'd be able to reach with their businesses alone faster.
We are seeking donors and investors to help build out the Dream Playground and our programs in the pipeline.
Every initiative we start, every program we develop, serve a larger purpose. It's about more than just funding and facilities. It's about fostering a culture of innovation and resilience.
At Dare to Dream, we don't just believe in the power of dreams, we activate it.
By empowering dreamers with the tools they need, from entrepreneurial education to practical experience in entrepreneurship, we are crafting a future where everyone has the agency to pursue a life doing what they feel most passionate about.
Our work is more than just launching businesses, it's about empowering the next generation of innovators and leaders.
With your $5,000 investment, we aim to use $1,500 to expand our community building events to another 2,500 dreamers. $2,000 to develop our online learning management system to create a centralized hub for resources for our learners, and $1,000 directly for seed funding. And to help an estimated, 2 to 5 young entrepreneurs make those crucial first investments in their ventures.
And with the remaining $500, we'll boost our marketing and outreach efforts, enhancing our visibility, allowing us to engage more dreamers. We ask you to join us.
Because we dare to dream of a community where barriers are converted into stepping stones for success.
Because after all, everyone deserves to dream. So, we'll leave you with one question.
Do you dare to dream?
Well, thank you for that, Abby and Takia. I really appreciated the explanation of how the money will be spent. I also like the fact that you talked about building community, which I think is very important. And you're launching businesses, but also empowering the next generation, which is very, very cool and a good thing to do. I'm going to piggyback on a question that one Judge Michelle asked earlier. What's your biggest pain point if you would have to pull one thing out?
Honestly, I think our biggest pain point has been scaling. It's been a challenge to be able to find enough people to be able to teach. All of our team is completely college students. So our team of 25 students, all UMD students. So the hardest part has been trying to get everybody to be able to show up to different events. But we've been able to do it in our last paid pilot program, and in our 2 programs, we'll be working on that this summer to get that done too. So we have the pain points, but we're actively working to make sure that we have the team that we need to be able to fulfill all the contracts that we have right now and the other contracts we have under development.
And so the folks that you're working with and the businesses that you're launching, is there a feedback loop for them with the folks that you're working with currently?
Could you maybe rephrase that question?
Sure. So once you've launched a business and launched an entrepreneur, do they remain with Dare to Dream and feedback into mentoring? What's that like? Can you just explain that?
Yeah, so we pride ourselves in our ability to collect data. So the Dream Portal that we spoke about developing, we have all of the resources that a dreamer may use during their building of their businesses, and they'd be able to access a lot of those resources after launching their businesses. And so part of us, seeing Dare to Dream, that doesn't just end after they've successfully launched their businesses, it's a recurring process. So if they need continuous funding, we're working to be able to provide them with that continuous funding as they search to scale, because sometimes it's not just a one-off effort. They can come back to access a network of mentors or other resources, come back, use our Dare to Dream Playground, for example, to collaborate with other entrepreneurs. We try to make sure that all of our resources will be able to be used continuously throughout their journey.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Really great presentation and courageous one. First, you mentioned Cameroon, so I'm excited. I am curious, a team of 25, how do you manage that? I know it's not easy to navigate 25 students.
Many group chats, many channels on Slack, but the main thing is just understanding and being reflexive of each other. I think our team, which some of them are in the audience, Thank y'all for the love. But our thanks, Astrid. But our team, you know, we show up for each other, and that's the biggest thing. So I think that when we have created a community and a group of people that show up for each other, believe in each other, love on each other, that's why we're able to do all the impact that we've been able to do and continue to impact more people.
Awesome.
Very nice presentation. I love the way that you guys put it together, so well done.
Thank you.
I'm curious to know about what the long-term strategy is for you, so 2 to 3 years out. What's the aspiration there?
Right, so I'm not sure what these slides are doing at the moment, but we have a target strategy. So our most successful programs are our community and education. Things that take a little longer to work into are, for example, the Dare to Dream Playground. This is where people are already experimenting with the skills they need to grow their ventures, but once they feel like they're very confident in these skills and they'd like to launch actual organizations or businesses, this is when we're working on developing venture studios. And this is things like accelerators and incubators that you see around campus, but that are culturally specific with knowledge that we know that our communities normally lack. Trying to build one that feels a lot more like home. Like we have accelerators, local accelerators that usually tend to be one demographic. And so youth that look like us, they may not feel as comfortable entering those spaces. We'd like to build those for them. And ultimately, we'd like to break into venture capital because we understand that a lot of the lack of entrepreneurs that look like us that we see in the world, it's because they lack access to funding. Something like 1%, less than 1% was given to women and women of color in venture capital in the last year. And so we'd like to work with people to develop these programs and initiatives to be able to give out that capital.
And so it's your intent to continue with this after you graduate?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Before our third pitch and final pitch for the project track, we're going to hear from another wonderful alum, Khalil Kettering, who is the new executive director of the Nature Conservancy for the DC, Maryland chapter, where he leads the chapter's conservation and policy work across the state and the district. Please welcome my good friend to the stage, Khalil Kettering.
You don't need to judge this. It's a lot of people. About 11 years ago, I came to this campus, and I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I wasn't that young back then. But I came here, and a lot of people were asking me, why are you going to get a master's from the University of Maryland? You already have a master's. Why are you going to go incur more debt? But I've been working for a while, and I knew that there was gaps in my knowledge and my skill sets that I wanted to hone and I wanted to refine to become a better leader. And this institution was one of the few places that had a program dedicated solely to nonprofit management and leadership, solely to the concept of two simple but powerful words about doing good. And so I came here, and I got some really important concepts and some lessons learned and some skills and strategies about how to be a good manager, about how to do conflict resolution, how to raise money, how to do discounted cash flows. And some of the biggest things that I took away from this university are three things. Number one, invest in bonds. And I'm required now by the SEC to say that I'm not a financial advisor. Number two, think about the present value. And number three is be contagious. And when I say invest in bonds, I'm not talking about financial bonds. That's up to you. I'm not a numbers guy. But I'm talking about those social, relational bonds to the people around you. Some of the strongest lessons and connections that I've made are from this university. Times when I have been crumpled on the floor, crying, not knowing where to go, not knowing, should I turn left, should I turn right? And there's people from this institution that reach out to me, that are sitting in this audience right now, that have reached out a hand to help pick me up, Or to just say, I'm just going to sit with you on the floor, and that's okay. The strongest lesson I learned was about investing in those bonds, those social connections with people. Present value. We sometimes think we come to an institution to prepare us for the future, which is very true, but don't forget about the present. Don't forget about the building blocks that you are creating to build upon for the rest of your life. The experiences that you are having right now, that you'll look back at them one day, you will cherish them, think about them and live in them right now. And be contagious. It's risky saying this as we come out of a pandemic. But emotions are contagious. How you act, how you think, how you engage with others affects the people around you on a daily basis, whether you know it or not. Nobody resembles that more than Bob Grimm, with that spirit of contagiousness. At the end of the day, when you wrap those three things up, invest in bonds with people, keep the present value in mind, and be contagious. The biggest thing that I took away from this school is that it's all about people. It's all about people, and that's not just for students. That's for anybody here, whether this is your first time here, as a do-good visitor, and we hope to see you back next year. Whether you're an alum, you will make connections in this room, you'll make connections in the showcase, you'll make connections for life that will sit with you, that will be there with you in the hard times, and that you can be there with them. You know, different strategies and different philosophies and theories, they come, they go, some are the flavors of the week, but people are what you can lean on in the times of need, whether it's a failing venture or a lost job, a relationship that has ended, a big loss in the family. The relationships you have here and that you're starting here are like planting a seed, and you have to cultivate it, you have to nurture it, you have to help it grow. But like a tree, those roots that you help to cultivate, it'll grow strong. It'll be there for you when you need it. So I leave you with this thought. It's an old saying, but it's one of the most powerful sayings for me. When they ask, what's more important? Is it the journey or is it the destination? And at the end of the day, it's the company. It's the people you're with. So make sure to foster those connections with the people that you're with. It'll be one of the most rich things that you can take away from the University of Maryland. And I'm forever grateful for so many people in this room that have helped me get to where I am today. And I hope that I can be there for them too. Thank you for listening.
So clearly we're having a few technical difficulties. We're going to take an actual intermission where I'd ask you to stay in your seats just for a few minutes. Please bear with us. And we hope to be on track again momentarily.
Could just stay seated here, and hopefully the next team will be
got that figured out, mostly figured out. We're going to have our final project team come on and pitch for you in just one moment.
Raise your hands if you've been stressed in the past month. How about the past week? How about today? Well, whether it's because of work or the local DMV traffic, we all have stressors in our daily lives. And just like us, students at South Point School in Varanasi, India, also mentioned that they were stressed because of exams and school, but they did not know necessarily how to cope with this stress. So, we conducted a stress management workshop with students in Varanasi, India, and taught them how to make DIY stress balls, in addition to discussing the social and physical implications of stress. Overall, our members, as well as the members of our partner community, really enjoyed this workshop and learned a lot about stress management.
Hi, I'm Elias.
And I'm Meghna.
And we're Public Health Beyond Borders. Our organization began in 2013 with our first trip to Camponi, Peru. We're a group of globally minded students aimed at addressing health needs in our partnering communities. Our overall mission is to reduce health disparities around the world and increase awareness about good health practices. We do this through empowering communities. We develop interventions and workshops that are culturally sensitive and sustainable in tandem with community members. And we do this in 5 different communities. We have one in our own backyard in Prince George's County, one in Peru, Sierra Leone, India, and our newest one in Kenya.
Our workshop process is a very dynamic one, and it starts with first identifying our partner communities. We then take a trip and discuss public health concerns that our partner communities may have. Then, in tandem, we develop workshops with our faculty advisors as well as members of the partner community to address these concerns. Then we conduct the workshops on a trip, and it's important to keep in mind that we use the cultural handbooks that we've provided to just learn more about the cultural competency aspect. And then finally, based on the feedback and evaluation, we revise our workshops throughout the rest of the semester for future travel. So what are some of these health needs that our partner communities have identified? The first is nutrition. As we all know, poor diets can lead to detrimental outcomes, and as a result, we made modules involving the importance of fruits in one's diet, and again, we discussed tropical fruits, given our partner community was in India. Additionally, members of our partner community mentioned that they weren't aware of how to respond to emergency situations, so we created a first aid workshop that discussed, we did a CPR balloon workshop and discussed the steps for aid. Due to the pandemic, there were also concerns about peer connections and bonding, and so we created a workshop that dealt with peer relationships and team building activities.
Additionally, hand washing education is crucial in preventing pathogens on contaminated hands. Through working with both parents and teachers, we were able to teach about proper hand washing techniques, which they in turn were able to teach their children and students about how to wash their hands. Additionally, we try to identify crucial and unique public health problems in communities. For example, in Camponi, Peru, crossing the road can be a very big challenge, especially with livestock. And we developed a multifaceted intervention with road safety in order to cross the road by building a bridge and working on a workshop in order to learn how to use the bridge. Since 2014, we've gone on over 25 plus workshop trips. We've reached more than 3,500 members of our partner communities, and we've had the involvement of over 1,000 undergraduates, including grad mentors and faculty advisors. This past year, we were able to raise $1,400 for the India project team in order to fund a child's education in a South Point school in Varanasi, India. Through doing evaluations after we conducting the workshops, students and teachers both feel more knowledgeable about the topics presented in the workshops and felt empowered to be able to apply these concepts in their own communities. Additionally, when public health members reflect on their time in public health beyond borders, they often find it to be a highlight of their undergraduate career. They've built relationships with both community members and public health beyond border members, and have developed and cultivated a passion for global public health.
With the Do Good funds, we hope to fund workshop materials that we can take to our partner communities. We also want to increase accessibility to travel to ensure students are able to establish and maintain contact with these communities. And we want to use it for promotional materials like flyers and the very cool merch we have on right now to spread awareness about public health beyond borders on campus. As we come to a close, I'd like you to imagine a world where every community, regardless of geography and circumstance, has access to the knowledge and resources required to lead healthier lives. We are not just a student organization. We're a group of public health changemakers investing in a healthier, brighter future for all. Together, we can make a profound impact in the world of public health, one community at a time. Thank you.
Mike. Okay, there we go. Mike, thank you. Really nice presentation and very important topic. Two-part question. How did you select the countries that you've chosen, and how do you make sure that your materials are culturally relevant across these different countries?
Yeah, so we select our partner communities through our faculty advisors that have partnerships with the universities in our partner communities, or through current members who have been working in the partner communities as well. And then the second part of the question, to make sure that we, address these workshops or make these workshops culturally competent, we make sure to consult the cultural handbook. We also have extensive training from our faculty advisors as well as current members that we train down the line as well. So for example, a good example would be, there was a teeth brushing workshop in India or one of our partner communities, where we basically taught individuals how to brush their teeth properly, but the use of toothpaste was wasteful. They didn't see it as a sustainable option. So instead, we decided to use neem plants that they use there and adjust our workshop that way.
Thank you.
And so I understand you've been doing this for 10 and a half years, or this project has been in existence. Clearly, you guys haven't been doing it for 10 and a half years. So there is some kind of succession planning that's going on. So where do you go from here, specifically the two of you and this work in future years?
So we elect an e-board before we leave or graduate. And so that e-board is composed of the vice president, the president, a secretary, but we also have individual project team leaders. So each project team is headed by 2 individuals. And if one of them leaves or graduates, then a new project leader will be selected, and they will be trained by the previous project leader and the current project leader as well. And additionally, we have grad mentors who also help to facilitate the projects, as well as faculty advisors who have had long-standing connections with many of our communities.
Yeah, and I'd like to add that some of our future e-board are here today in the audience as well.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, considering how long you've been doing these, how do you measure impact post-workshop? And what is the sustainability plan for those communities that you're working with?
Yeah, so what we do is we collect evaluation forms at the end of the workshop, in addition to just verbal interviews with the community members, just to make sure that it's more of an informal process of collecting evaluation, just to receive their feedback, see how much they learned from the workshop, how they'd like to improve it, and then we come back. So some of our project teams work on research and kind of further look at the qualitative impacts of the, of the evaluation forms, and then we change the workshops accordingly.
And additionally, we also do pre-evaluations, so we can compare that data from beginning and an end. And then we also have long-standing relationships with organizations in the community who are continuing these interventions. So for example, we have partnered with universities or organizations in the community directly.
Quick question. Given the relationship that you have with the universities locally, is anybody, since this is a public health strategy, is anybody collecting information about the public health outcomes and how, whether it's brushing teeth or hand washing, are actually changing those outcomes for the community?
Yeah, we conduct, so for example, the hand washing. Oftentimes we'll go to the same school, elementary school, and maybe we'll talk to the next grade up, which will be the previous grade that we had taught the hand washing or the toothbrushing, and then we'll do that evaluation again.
And I'm sorry, I meant to say the population level outcomes in terms of really changing things on the ground for people as a result of these interventions.
Yeah, and we do needs assessments every year when we go in, and we talk to the whole community in order to evaluate that impact.
Because public health is a very dynamic, adapting field, and so that's why we need to conduct needs assessments at least once a year or every couple of months to make sure that the needs of our partner community are changing or if they're static.
Okay, great, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's give all of our project pitches and our judges another round of applause. Judges, you know what to do. It's time to go back to the deliberation room and decide who's going to get first, second, and third place prizes. Now we're going to see a video from Students Helping Honduras, aka 1000 Schools, a previous Do Good Challenge finalist.
Students Helping Honduras is a nonprofit organization that aims to fight poverty and gang violence in Honduras through education and youth empowerment.
We recruit college students to go down to Honduras for a one-week service trip to build a school.
One of the main ways that gangs recruit members is children walking to school because they have to walk multiple miles to get to school. By building schools right within their communities, that alleviates that problem and they're able to have a greater chance of success in finishing school.
In order to fundraise for an entire school project, we needed to raise $25,000 in the semester. One of our craziest fundraisers to date was our grilled cheese fundraiser. It all started with a Post-it note in a classroom. I took the Do Good Now course, and in a brainstorming session, we wrote down all the craziest fundraising ideas. One of them was a grilled cheese fundraiser, and we said, why not? That semester, we found ourselves selling grilled cheese right outside of Route 1. It was in the late hours of Friday and Saturday night, and we said, hey, buy one grilled cheese, and that's one cinder block towards ultimately a school we're trying to build in Honduras. We raised $1,000 per night, and that semester, after all of our fundraising efforts, we were at $19,000. So we were just $6,000 short. The first place in the Do Good Challenge was $6,000. We came up on stage, we pitched genuinely the impact of our organization. We knew we had to win the Do Good Challenge, and we walked out of that day with a finished school in Honduras.
It's important to make doing good
Khalil Kettering, Executive Director for the Nature Conservancy Maryland, D.C. chapter, and 2014 Do Good Challenge finalist. Megan O'Neill, Senior Program Manager in Microsoft's UN and International Organizations. And Viraj Shah, Co-founder and CEO of Vitalize Care and two-time Do Good Challenge winner. Welcome to the stage, Game Changers.
Growing up, I loved playing sports. Soccer, softball, basketball, tennis were some of my favorites. I loved being able to run around outside and get my energy out after having to sit in the classroom all day, especially before having to go back to my desk later that night to do homework or study for a test. We oftentimes think of the physical benefits of sports, but we sometimes overlook some of the other benefits, which include academic success, mental health success, and interpersonal connections. The problem, however, is that there are major cost barriers to playing sports. 31% of families at or below the poverty line engage in sports, compared to 70% of families making over $105,000 per year. The average family spends $883 per year for one child's primary sport. And therefore, low-income children are 6 times as likely to quit sports due to costs. Various demographics are impacted by this, including low-income families, people in developing countries, minorities, LGBTQIA communities, and girls. That's what inspired me to found Game Changers New York. In 2016, as a sophomore in high school, I founded Game Changers, We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and our mission is to distribute sports equipment to kids in need globally. To date, we've donated over 100,000 pieces of sports equipment worth $2.5 million to 138 partner organizations across 14 countries, impacting over 400,000 children. We've also received over $47,000 from people and organizations who support our mission. In order to do this, we have an easy 3-step process. Our volunteers launch sports equipment drives in their communities and collect lightly used sports equipment from individuals or sports facilities that no longer need their sports equipment. Then, our volunteers use our database on our website consisting of 138 partner organizations to find an organization near them that needs the items that they've collected. Lastly, the volunteers and the organization connect so that they could facilitate the sports equipment donation. We lead the competition in this industry. We create global accessibility to our services through our online database. We have volunteering opportunities for youth, allowing them to become leaders in their communities. We incorporate modern technology into our platforms, allowing ease and accessibility to our stakeholders. We have personal relationships with our partner organizations, ensuring that sports equipment ends up in the right hands. And lastly, we have a specific focus on sports equipment donations, enabling us to become the second largest organization in the country to do what we're doing. In addition to our dedicated volunteers, we have a team board and advisory board that operate on a daily basis. Tonight, we're asking you to invest in our future. With $5,000, we can create the first of its kind free sports equipment marketplace app. This app will function as a free marketplace where sports equipment donors can post photos and descriptions of the sports equipment they wish to donate. Simultaneously, our partner organizations will post descriptions of the sports equipment needs for their programs. Then, either entity can contact the other in order to facilitate the sports equipment donation. One of our partner organizations, Joe Tennis Academy for Orphans in Kenya, shared with us that with 100 orphans in the program, tennis has changed their lives. Tennis keeps them away from drugs and allows them to focus on academic work. By excelling in school, the children are able to get tennis scholarships. This was one of our first organizations that we donated to globally. We donated just a couple hundred tennis balls, but we clearly see the strong impact here. We aim to continue to do this with all of our future partner organizations as well. Together, let's change the game.
Thank you for that. This is important for me. It's been said that the United States would do better at the World Cup if we had soccer more accessible for people from many different social demographics. I'm a little bit hungry to learn more about your costs. And what are your costs of gathering this equipment, of shipping it, and how are you tracking that?
Yeah, sure. So originally we operated by having a warehouse that was donated to us. And that was based in New York. However, I realized that it wasn't the most efficient, cost-efficient, or time-efficient way to operate because all of our donations would have to get to our warehouse and then get redistributed out from this warehouse, causing shipping costs and also a lot of time for our volunteers who would work at the warehouse. And so then we realized with the help of one of our professors here at the University of Maryland and my information systems class, I learned about the importance of data. And from there, we developed our database on our website, which now enables our partner organizations to connect directly to our volunteers and our volunteers to connect directly to our partner organizations. And therefore, we're eliminating those costs of shipment and also the time it takes to organize and redistribute the equipment from our warehouse.
I also could not agree more on the importance of sports and how there's just such a myriad of benefits if it's mental health, if it is using your time productively, learning core skills, how to socialize with other people your age. I guess you mentioned a lot of underserved populations, and I wonder when you are thinking about onboarding new organizations or partners, what are some of the metrics you use in deciding to bring on new organizations, and how are you measuring impact overall?
Sure. So initially, when we were first getting started, we would reach out to these organizations and approach them and see, we align with your mission. Our organization aligns with your mission of your sports program. Are you interested in receiving a sports equipment donation? And most of the time, they'd say, yes, thank you so much. Sports is such a huge cost for us. We'd love to receive this donation. And then in our later years, we actually started to hear from organizations. They would reach out to us, and now we have a form on our website where our organizations, any organization can apply to be a partner organization. And so what we're looking for is a few different factors. We're looking for, that they're creating sports programming for youth, that they're supporting an underrepresented demographic, and most importantly, that they have a hard time spending money on sports equipment. And so that's why we realized it's a perfect solution to have people who no longer need sports equipment then donate those items to these organizations who need them.
Thank you.
I'll try to go quick. I love that this is something that you started in high school and have continued to do now that you're in Maryland. I think that's phenomenal. You talked a lot about the app as where the funds are going, and that's the next step. So I'd love to learn a little bit more about, what do you see the difference between current process and what this app will enable, and how's that going to be the most critical thing for you to achieve your goals in the next 12 months?
Sure. So we're trying to keep up with technology. Nowadays, there's an app for everything. And what we often see with these social media apps is that it's a scrolling or a swiping process. And so we want to emulate that type of technology, that type of system where sports equipment donors could post photos of the sports equipment they wish to donate. And then our partner organizations could scroll through and see, oh, this person is right near me and they have all these items that I want. I want to then be able to connect to that person and collect that sports equipment or have it dropped off at my facility. And so we're trying to keep up with the technology, and it's different from our current database is because while our current database is great, it is just a normal database where our partner organizations are listed based on location, based on the sports they provide, information about their program, and this is really taking that to the next level.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to the stage, the Second Lieutenant Richard W. Collins III Foundation.
I'll be strong. Good afternoon. My name is Dawn Collins. I am the proud mother of Lieutenant Richard W. Collins III. I am a graduate student here in School of Public Policy and co-founder of the Second Lieutenant Richard W. Collins III Foundation.
Hi, my name is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Anna Wytrecki. I'm a University of Maryland student, Army ROTC cadet, and a 4-year participant in the Collins Foundation's Building Bridges program.
So, why are we here? Well, in May 20, 2017, Lieutenant Collins was murdered on this campus by a student filled with hate-fueled violence. But we refuse to let that be the end of the story. According to the Department of Justice, hate-fueled violence is the #1 domestic issue in the land. Understand, that's the #1 issue that we face in our country. So, right now we found out that 7 out of 10 individuals are affected by hate-fueled violence. Can you imagine that? 7 out of 10 individuals in this country are affected by hate-fueled violence. But we at the Collins Foundation lobbied with individuals at the State Maryland General Assembly, and guess what? We changed the hate crime law the first time around. Not only did we do that, we are now working with national partners such as the Lawyers Committee on Civil Rights to strengthen and change national hate crime laws. But see, again, that's not the end of our story. What else did we do? We are continuously building bridges between ROTC students, because before Lieutenant Collins was Lieutenant Collins, he was an ROTC cadet. And with the help of the Maryland General Assembly, we now have a $1 million annual scholarship in Lieutenant Collins' name. So what does that mean? Thus far, over $6 million has been allocated and 800 scholarships have been given out. With those 800 scholarships, guess what has happened? Over 235 men and women have become officers in the United States military.
So what does building bridges mean to us? Building bridges means teaching future U.S. Army officers the power of empathy, understanding, and connection. In order to be an effective leader and a great officer, you must understand your soldiers. So, through building bridges, we are connecting people. For the last 4 years, the Collins Foundation has partnered with Outward Bound and Under Armour to bring you the Building Bridges Expedition. This expedition is a 5-day backpacking expedition along the Appalachian Trail, bringing together kids from University of Maryland, Bowie State University, and Morgan State University. Here, these cadets are forced and challenged both physically and mentally to make a plan to get from Maryland to the Pennsylvania border. So now, think about this. 15 cadets, 16 miles, no civilization, no running water, no cell phones. So we quite literally have nothing to occupy ourselves besides each other. So what this setting does to us is it forces us to work with each other, to break down our walls, to open up to each other about the physical, mental, emotional, even life challenges that they've struggled with throughout their lives. Branching even further, for the last 20 years, West Point cadets have been visiting the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. This year, thanks to the Collins Foundation, Bowie State University cadets were able to join those West Point cadets in visiting not only the Holocaust Museum, but the African American History and Culture Museum in Washington, D.C. So here, cadets from an HBCU in a predominantly white institution were able to come together and gain a different perspective and a better understanding of the social issues that others encounter. So through these professional development programs, these cadets are gaining better understanding. They're broadening their horizons, and they're getting an understanding for what each other goes through, what their backgrounds are. We get a sense of empathy, and together, we become more fit to serve and lead. We become better officers. We become the change makers. That being said, though, just like any other student, even at a well-resourced school, we as cadets are not immune to unexpected financial hardships, whether that be medical or family emergencies, motor vehicle accidents, or even natural disasters. So here at the Collins Foundation, we want to create an emergency fund to help with those unexpected financial hardships, because the last thing a student who is gearing up to serve our nation needs is to not know where their next meal is coming from. Thank you.
Wow, I'm like, this is very impressive. First of all, I want to say I'm so sorry for the loss of your son, and it's just so impressive that you turned something so incredibly painful into something, one, so positive in protecting not only your community, but much broader communities' fundamental human rights, and then also into really creating a whole new set of change makers and leaders. One last point before I ask my question.
Yes, ma'am.
I also know how I worked in U.S. government and understand how challenging it is to affect laws, and I worked at the federal level, but at the state level, it is so impressive that you've built this strong advocacy arm and lobbying ability to do that. So kudos to you there, and then again on the programmatic front. But in terms of this assistance fund, I guess, can you talk a bit more about how you would select who would receive this assistance and how that would be determined?
Absolutely, yes. So not only will a cadet be able to reach out to Mrs. Collins herself and explain their situation if they're looking for some privacy, but also the professors of military sciences, so those are the lieutenant colonels in charge of each of the battalions, they can reach out to Mrs. Collins as well. So if they're seeing, a cadet that's not able to get to physical training or lab trainings because of the fact that, they were involved in a hit and run or something like that and they don't have the transportation, the PMS can reach out to Mrs. Collins and ask for that assistance. In terms of equality, what we're looking to do right off the bat with, if we are able to get this $7,500 off for tonight, would be cadets would have the opportunity to apply twice a semester for a maximum of $500. That will allow us to help 15 students in the first year and then use that to fundraise more in the coming years to expand the program.
Thank you.
This was a fantastic presentation. I remember listening to your presentation from last year, and I'm honestly inspired by how much you've been able to get done in a year. I was a student here when this happened in 2017. This didn't send shockwaves across the state of Maryland, this sent shockwaves across the entire nation. So my question for you is, you've had incredible success here lobbying the Maryland General Assembly, and you've had a lot of success with these programs in Maryland and the greater Maryland area. What's your success, or what's your game plan in making this successful in other states and taking these lobbying efforts and this foundation to other states around the country?
Thank you for that question, and I'm glad you asked. So, just today, I got a call saying that Cadet Command knows about what we're doing. And what does that mean, Cadet Command? That's the command station for all of the ROTCs. And they found out and know what we're doing here in the state of Maryland. And guess what? They're on board and want to help us expanding. And something else I want to add, we're the first in the nation to do anything like this. So that is how we're going to scale up what we're working on.
Thank you.
I echo everything that's been said. Serving those who serve is such an important mission. And I'm curious, what does success look like 5 years from now?
Success for me, knowing that A, we've changed the hate crime law. And what we're doing in the state of Maryland is replicated throughout the United States. Because see, I dream big. I believe what we did in Maryland is a shining example of what can happen throughout this nation. Because also, we're the first in the nation to bring predominantly white institutions and HBCUs together. So can you imagine the impact that we will have? And I believe that we can do it. Thank you.
Welcome to the stage, True Community.
I'm Luke Thomas Keys, Executive Director of True Community, a 501c3 nonprofit organization expanding access to life-saving skills in marginalized communities. I'm also a master's student in the School of Public Health, passionate about health justice.
I am Ebenezer Kovna Mensah, a True Community instructor trainer and chairman of the Black Star Awareness Initiative. I am a PhD candidate in the Student Affairs concentration, passionate about teaching, putting smiles on people's faces, and saving lives. By show of hands, who in here knows first aid or CPR? All right, so the majority in the room. Now, I want you all to close your eyes. Imagine yourself in a country called Ghana, where less than 1% of the population knows first aid or CPR. You are at work eating lunch. All of a sudden, you started choking on a grape. You look around at your co-workers, but they don't know what to do. In a panic, they eventually put you in a car to a hospital 30 minutes away. You are floating in and out of consciousness. until everything goes black. You stop breathing, you stop responding. Then you go into cardiac arrest. Now open your eyes. This may not be your reality, but this is the reality of over 30 million Ghanaians.
According to the World Heart Federation, cardiovascular disease deaths, or CVD, have jumped globally from 12.1 million in 1990 to 20.5 million in 2021. 4 in every 5 CVD deaths occur in developing countries, including Ghana. On the continent of Africa, it is estimated that CVD will overtake infectious diseases as the leading cause of death on the continent by 2030.
Ghana is projected to have population, economic, and social development like the country has never seen before. But along with this growth, it is also expected to have increased rates of cardiovascular diseases, automobile injuries, and other emergency situations. According to the National Cardiothoracic Center at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, CVD is already the leading cause of death, accounting 60% of death among adults in Ghana. Thus, the time for action is now. This is why True Community's Black Star Awareness Initiative is striving to integrate these skills into the foundation of every community in Ghana.
This past summer, we had the opportunity to travel to Ghana and train over 1,000 people in first aid and CPR. Post-test, we found a 50% increase in knowledge of these skills, and 99% of our participants successfully demonstrated these skills to the Red Cross standard. The 9 faces you see here on the screen represent the stories of 9 lives saved as a result of our training last summer. Abina, in the bottom center, was at school choking when one of her classmates who we trained jumped into action, delivered firm back blows, dislodged the object, and saved her life. You all see the impact. But how can we ensure these efforts are continued after we leave?
Another important component of this initiative is sustainability. With this in mind, we established 2 training centers in Accra and Cape Coast, staffed by Ghanaian citizens who continue to teach these skills year-round. In this photo you see the Institute for Educational Planning Administration at the University of Cape Coast, with whom we have a memorandum of understanding which provides us an in-country partnership to expand access to these skills. We are happy to share that this summer we will be returning to Ghana.
Since 2021, True Community has certified over 10,000 people in first aid and CPR across 20 training centers, both domestically and internationally. This experience, coupled with our unique partnerships, uniquely positions us to meet the needs of this evolving and diverse country. If awarded $5,000 from this competition, we would establish the Do Good Training Center in Kumasi, training 4,000 people annually. With the 3rd training center established, we would train 12,000 people by this time next year. Visually, that is the same number of people to fill up the Xfinity Center. With the 3rd training center established, we also anticipate saving close to 200 lives by this time next year. That's the same number of people that attended the training in this photo. Let that sink in, 200 lives. That is the same number of people that are in this bottom row here, if you want to look around and visualize what that looks like.
You must heal the wound before it ignores the medicine. Now, I want you to close your eyes again. This time, your coworker is bleeding, and you were recently trained in first aid at the Do Good Training Center. You apply pressure to control the bleeding immediately and help transport them to a hospital. And the nurse tells you, if it wasn't for you beginning to heal the wound, our medicine would not have saved them. Now open your eyes. This is what True Community looks like.
You must heal the wound
before it ignores the medicine. Medase.
I think the impact that you've already achieved and what you're going to do, undeniable. And I personally have seen the train-the-trainer model work around the world. I'm a public health person too. The problems you're solving exist globally. So this in some ways is a case study that you can scale everywhere. Right. So my question for you is, what is the funding model here as you scale? There are going to be costs in a lot of different parts of this model. Tell me a little bit about how you're thinking about the financial sustainability of this organization.
Yeah, that's a really great question. You all raised your hand at the beginning of our presentation, which means almost all of you in this room took a CPR class. Unfortunately, it probably cost you a little bit of money too. And so at True Community, we have 18 training centers in the US, and we use those training centers to fund our efforts abroad. And also we host classes here in the US specifically focused on marginalized communities. We just finished our Black History Month initiative where we certified over 500 people in first aid and CPR. So our revenue from the classes we host here in the US are going to be supporting our efforts abroad along with other funding sources, but that'll be our main one because it's the most sustainable.
And what has that brought in, historically, last year? Feel free to pick any time period.
What is that?
The revenue from the training centers.
In 2023, we did $500,000.
Wow.
Just want to make sure that I was following correctly. You were talking about CPR and having the skills. Do I remember correctly, you're also talking about cardiovascular disease at one point?
Correct.
And can you help me understand the through line between those two components there?
Right. So as we pointed out, cardiovascular disease is on the rise in Ghana, specifically because of globalization, changing in habits. A lot of good things as far as gaining the economic standpoint. But this past summer, we ate at KFC, which can kind of point out, some of the issues of increasing cardiovascular disease. When cardiovascular disease increases, so does heart attack, so does respiratory arrest, and those things can be saved if somebody knows how to perform CPR and sustain that person's life. Other things like controlling bleeding or choking, those are also things that somebody can save someone's life if they know the proper skills.
That's helpful. And in the international development space, there's a number of competitors that are trying to do similar things. And how are you guys carving out a niche for yourself and really defining that value proposition?
Yeah, that's a really great question. There is a lot of organizations doing this in the United States, but as we pointed out, there's only 0.32% of people trained in Ghana, and that is because a lot of the efforts in Africa as a whole or in Ghana are focused on healthcare workers specifically, but not community members. So our niche is really focusing on how we can meet the community members, because it doesn't do anybody good if they get to the hospital 30 minutes later and there's nothing the doctors can do for them, as Eben illustrated in that story at the end there. So community care is our focus at True Community.
I'll cede my question as we are being respectful of time.
Okay.
Excellent presentation, and again, I've also seen the train-the-trainer model work many times. We utilize that a lot, so.
Awesome, thank you.
Wow, those were some incredibly impressive ventures here tonight. Let's give our judges and our finalists another round of applause. Judges, you're already on cue. It's time to make your way back to the deliberation room and decide who's going to get first, second, and third place. Okay, audience, your roll is coming up. Get ready. Earlier this evening, you had a chance to network with 5 really impressive teams during our showcase out in the lobby and vote for your favorite teams to come up and give a 2-minute lightning pitch. Soon, during our voting window, you're going to get a chance to text a vote for which team will receive the $750 Showcase Audience Choice Award and the runner-up $500 prize. Are you ready to find out who the 2 Showcase teams are going to be? Are you ready to find out who the 2 Showcase teams are going to be? Okay, thank you. You're still with us, thank you. They are Aromo Student Association and Terrapin Think Tank. Please welcome to the stage our first group.
Hi everyone, my name is Ruka and I'm here representing the Oromo Student Association here at the University of Maryland. The Oromo people are the largest ethnic group in Ethiopia, and it is home to one of our newest initiatives, Rural Highlights. Let's get into the name, Rural Highlights. I want you to take time to think about what that can entail. What do you envision? While you have that in mind, let me share with you the journey that led to the birth of this project. In 2018, after seeing the excess school supplies lying around the house, I decided to collect them and take them with me to my trip to Ethiopia. With the help of my peers, local libraries, and my school, we were able to donate and collect over 1,000 school supplies, ranging from notebooks, pencils, papers, to even sports equipment. And we donated to a local school in Oromia called Nkaka Primary. However, I only had a few packs of crayons, as this was not an emphasized essential school supply. I was instructed to pass out the few packs I had to the kindergarten class. 1 crayon for 1 student, 1 color for expression, an unheard reality here at the University of Maryland, where at every turn we see color and opportunity. Yet I could still see the colorful potential behind those students' eyes. This is where Rural Highlights come in. Our mission is to cater to the creative spaces of the rural students of Oromia and Ethiopia. Art is essential, art is innovative, and art is a means of communication. For what is a community without communication? Thank you.
Directly with the Prince George's County Health Department to identify health challenges and design community-centered policy solutions to those challenges. Every year, the Terrapin Think Tank recruits a new cohort of fellows to take our 1-credit course with weekly lessons on policy research and advocacy while developing their own policy proposals. We currently have 11 undergraduate fellows with a total of 14 active research projects. One of our projects is our Transportation Equity Initiative, exploring how the county can reduce transportation barriers for patients who visit federally qualified health centers. With the help of the Do Good Institute, we plan to pilot a partnership with Uber Health to establish a reliable transportation system for patients to access their medical care. Another project is our Menstrual Equity Initiative, aiming to combat period poverty by increasing the availability of menstrual products in public spaces in the county. We've initiated a pilot program in partnership with the Hyattsville Branch Library to provide over 700 free menstrual products to their restrooms and comfort rooms. The Do Good grant would allow us to extend the pilot program into the rest of the year and expand to other community centers to benefit our residents. Our other projects include improving social media health information dissemination with the health department, creating youth mental health support groups at county schools, developing framework for placing community health workers, and writing a health literacy curriculum for county residents. While the range of interests is broad, all our topics are united by one thing: passionate Maryland students who are using policy to amplify the voices of our local community and positively impact the world around us. With your help, we can bring our ideas to reality. Thank you all for your time. Go Terps.
Terpthon is a student-run organization that raises funds and awareness for Children's National Hospital in Washington, D.C. We are the largest student-run philanthropic organization in the state of Maryland, and we culminate in a 12-hour dance marathon to celebrate our efforts with our community.
Our dance marathon in March, just before spring break, is 12 hours to represent the 12-hour shifts that our nurses at Children's National carry out. And this is both a recognition of our fundraising and engagement efforts of students here on campus, but also of the struggle and passion and courage that our children at the hospital have gone through every single day.
Coming to UMD, it's such a large campus that I wanted to find a way to make it feel more like home. And I searched for an organization that allowed me to make an impact while also finding my second group of friends, and Terpthon was just that. We spend a lot of time together planning for all of our different events, and they truly are some of my absolute best friends, and it's just even better that we're united under a common cause.
In the past 13 years, Terpthon has been lucky enough to fundraise over $6 million for the patients and families at Children's National Hospital. At the hospital, this is manifested in a nurse's station called Bear Station 1 with a plaque that recognizes Trypton. We also have fundraised for a Hamilton transport ventilator for some of our smallest premature babies who need that kind of support when they're being transported. I think that it's really remarkable how the entire College Park community comes together to support such an amazing cause.
Dancing heals us because it brings out the inner child in us. Our whole organization is around the kids and benefiting all of these patients that are undergoing illnesses and surgeries at the hospital.
Incredible. Let's give all of our alum groups featured here tonight another big round of applause. Soon you will be able to cast your vote for one of them to win $1,500. Hello, my name is Keisha McNeil, and I'm the manager of the Do-Good Accelerator for the Do-Good Institute. Thank you. While our judges finish their deliberations, we're going to have a little fun. So let's have all of our showcase teams join me out on stage to play Do-Good Trivia. Well, they will answer trivia questions about a Do-Good Challenge team or Do-Good alum team, or Do-Good Challenge alum. I'm sorry. Come on out. Okay, so let me just go ahead and tell you about the game. So in order to play, each contestant must answer 5 questions. The players who correctly answer at least 3 of the questions will win 3 of the 5 questions will win $100 for their team. And for participating, everyone on stage will take home a Do-Good prize pack. Now, don't be shy out there in the audience. You are the lifeline. I need you to help them by shouting out what you think the right answer is. If you've been listening tonight, you've already heard all the answers. So let's meet our contestants. I'm going to ask each of you to introduce yourself and tell us about your team.
Hello. My name is Ethan Adler, again, and I'm with the Terrapin Think Tank, the University of Maryland's first student-led public policy incubator focused on health needs in Prince George's County.
Hi everyone, my name is Ruka Ayala and I'm here representing Oromo Student Association and our initiative, Rural Highlights.
Hi everyone, I'm India from Project Purpose and we curate youth development programs for youth in Prince George's County and throughout the greater Washington metropolitan area.
Hi everyone, I'm Marie Brodsky. I'm with Wise Cities. You might remember my co-founder Kat from last year's Do-Good Challenge, and we work on connecting older adults to their communities as they're getting older.
Hi everyone, I am Arshad. I am a graduate student from UMD pursuing my master's education in robotics, and I am working on developing an AI-based robotics system called A-Stars, which is which aims at improving the public safety through addressing the issues related to the heated steam manhole covers around the campus. Thank you.
Okay. Can I ask each of you to take like 2 steps forward? All right, thank you. So now that we know who you are and how you do good, let's earn some do good dollars. Here are the rules. I'm going to ask each of you a question, and then I'm going to give you 5 seconds to think it over. And with the help of your lifeline, which is you, the audience. Once your 5 seconds are up, I'll ask you to show your answer. Remember, if you get 3 out of the 5 questions right, you'll win $100. Are you ready? Audience, are you ready? Make sure they can hear you. Okay, let's go. First question. How many UMD colleges and schools are represented in the inaugural cohort of Do Good Campus Fund grantees? A, 6, B, 10, C, 12, or D, 15? Yell out, let them hear you. Okay, time's up. Let's see your answers. Hold them up high. Okay. The correct answer is C, all 12 UMD colleges and schools. Congratulations to those of you who got it right. And now, on to the second question. Through Impact DMB's Impact Your Acceptance program, 60 high school seniors secured more than how many college acceptance letters and how much in scholarships? A, 60 acceptances, $1 million. B, 100 acceptances and $15 million. C, 250 acceptances and $10 million, or D, 650 acceptances and $20 million? I hear D. Okay, let's see your answers. What's your answers? Hold them up high. What's your answer? Okay. All right. The correct answer is D, 650 acceptances and $20 million in scholarships. Way to go, Impact DMV. Yes. And now for question 3. Where did the idea for the Food Recovery Network start? A, South Campus Commons. B, South Campus Dining Hall. C, Cornerstone Grill. Or D, Hornbeck Library. Hold your answers up. Let's see. Okay, the correct answer is B, South Campus Dining Hall. Everybody got that right. Good job, Lifeline. Okay, on to question 4. What does Terpthon's 12-hour dance marathon represent? A 12-hour nurse shift, a 12-hour doctor's shift, the 12 Terpthon chapters across Maryland, or D, A and B? You all were paying attention tonight. Good job. Okay, the correct answer is A, 12-hour nurse shift. Good job. And now for your last question. How many Do-Good alumni have received the University of Maryland Outstanding Young Alumnus Award in the last 2 years? A, 0, B, 1, C, 2, or D, 3? I can't hear you. Okay, what's your answers? Hold up, answer. You're going with C. Okay, the correct answer is C, 2. Good job, good job, good job. 2 Do-Good alumni have received the Outstanding Young Alumnus Award in the last 2 years. And that wraps up our Do-Good trivia. Thank you to all of you all for participating. You can now go backstage. And thank you all for being a great lifeline. Let's give these incredible students another round of applause. And now it's time for you to weigh in and vote for your favorite finalist team, showcase team, and alum team to win prize money. First up is our Showcase Audience Choice Award. The winner of this award will take home an additional $750 tonight. Showcase team number 1 was Oromo Student Association, and showcase team number 2 was Terrapin Think Tank. On the screen, you will see the text to vote information. You now have 1 minute to make your decision and cast your vote. Okay, time's up. Thank you for your votes. Next is our Finalist Audience Choice Award. The winner of this award will take home an additional $2,500 tonight. On the screen, we have the text to vote information. You only get 1 vote, so make sure to make it count. You now have 1 minute to make your decision and cast your vote. All right, time's up. The final vote tonight is for the first ever Challenge Alum Audience Choice Award. The winner of this award takes home $1,500. On the screen in a minute is the text-to-vote information. Once again, you only get one vote, so make it count. You have 1 minute to make your decision and cast your vote. Okay, that concludes our audience choice text to vote. Thank you for participating, and you'll find out the results of your votes momentarily. Okay, the time has come. We're ready to start announcing the winners of the 2024 Do Good Challenge. I'd like to ask all of our judges, student finalists, and showcase representatives to come back out on stage, along with President Pines, Dean Orr, and our Do Good team. Okay, as they are gathering, we have a special surprise for our finalists.
Congrats on making it this far. Thank you for everything you do.
Congratulations to Kaya and Abby and Dare to Dream. Being a finalist in the Do Good Challenge is a major accomplishment. Takaya, I am so proud of you and how you strive to live out your dreams and inspire others to do the same.
Congratulations to my mentee, Luke Thomas Keys, on becoming a finalist. Luke, I am so proud of you and all the work you're doing with True Community.
Sarah, we are so proud of all of your accomplishments with Game Changers. Watching this organization grow since you were only 14 years old has been a real honor for me as your big sister.
Congrats, Matt. We're so proud of you.
Congrats, Matt. I'm super proud of you, bro. Keep up the good work.
Hey, Matt. Congrats on being a finalist. So proud of you and everything you've accomplished. Best of luck.
Hi, Mati. Congratulations. We're so proud of you.
Hey, Matt. Congrats on being a finalist. I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to see what you accomplish next. Good luck.
Mrs. Collins, we are back. Second time around. Congratulations again to both you and the Second Lieutenant Richard Collins Foundation for being a finalist in the Do Good Challenge. Again, this work does not surprise me that you do. From our conversations, I've always been able to gather that you are one thing, passionate, and that your hard work has always been amazing.
Megnan Elias, congratulations. I'm so proud and so grateful to see where you and the team at Public Health Beyond Borders UMD have taken this organization.
Hello to Kaya and everyone else from Dare to Dream. Congratulations on being a finalist in the Do Good Challenge.
Well done. I am wishing you all the best.
I want to tell you how proud I am of the Do Good Challenge finalists representing Public Health Beyond Borders, one of my favorite groups on campus. You do good each and every day across the globe.
Hey, Takaya and Abby, Dr. White here, just reaching out to say congratulations. You dared to dream, and this is where it's gotten you. And I'll say this, it can only go up from here. This is just the beginning.
You're doing so awesome, Elias. I'm so proud of you.
Congratulations.
Elias, congratulations. We are so proud of you.
You're always trying to make the world a better place by helping others.
Congratulations, Sarah, the Do Good Game Changer. You're a beautiful person inside and out. Keep doing good. Keep making this world a better place for all of us to live in.
I just want to say congratulations on being accepted. Let's go.
It has been great being your coach this year, and I am so impressed by all of the impact.
Heartiest congratulations to everyone at PHPP for making it into the finals, for being a finalist at the Do Good Challenge.
Congratulations, Sarah. On behalf of the Game Changers Board, we are so proud of you. Keep up the good work.
Congratulations, Luke Keys and your colleague Ebenezer from Northern Kentucky University. We are so proud of all you've done with True Community, and you still have an impact here in Northern Kentucky.
I am so proud of you all, focusing on actions and not only words. It's at the core of Maryland. I'm so inspired by your accomplishments.
Congratulations, you did it again. You are on the stage for a second time, beat all the odds over and over again. I'm so proud to work beside you. I'm so proud to work in the name of your beloved son, Lieutenant Richard W. Collins III.
Congratulations, Brother Keys and Ebenezer. So proud of you for being a finalist. Keep holding the light high and 06.
Thanks for all that you do for Public Health Beyond Borders. I'm grateful I have the opportunity to work with students like you.
Sarah Blau, as your parents, we are so proud of the work that you are doing with Game Changers New York. The impact that it's having on thousands of kids' lives around the world is truly amazing.
Congratulations, we love you.
Wow, that's incredible. I love seeing your faces when you saw all of those tributes. You have so many people in your lives who are proud of you and the work that you do. I hope that you can feel the love and support that we witnessed watching that. What a truly incredible this evening has been. Thank you all for being here and showing support to these incredible chance takers and difference makers. Congratulations again to all of our teams. And now, without further ado, we've tallied your votes and have the winners for the Audience Choice Awards. First up, I'm pleased to share the winner of the Showcase Audience Choice Award is Terrapin Think Tank. Congratulations. Your team will be taking home the $750 prize. That means the runner-up to our Showcase Audience Choice Award is a Romo Student Association taking home the $500 prize. Congratulations. We can't wait to see all of your continued incredible achievements. Next up is our Finalist Audience Choice Award. This team will be taking home an additional $2,500 tonight. Can I get a drum roll? Thank you. Congratulations to AppDev Club. And finally, our first ever Challenge Alum Showcase Audience Choice Award goes to Students Helping Honduras. Congratulations. Let's give a big round of applause to all of our Audience Choice Award winners. And now I'd like to welcome my former Scale Your Impact mentee, Cedric Noifor, to the stage. Cedric is going to be presenting our Do Good Challenge winners in the project track.
Okay, so I hope that tonight, due to all the festivity, all the pitches, we do not lose sight of each and every life that the change makers that we have here has impacted. Because in this celebration, we could just say, oh, those are just numbers. No, those are individuals whose lives have been changed for good. Thanks to the incredible work that the Do Good Institute and the incredible team that the Do Good Institute has put together to help amplify our voices and the work that we do. I also hope that we do not lose sight of the courage and resiliency that has led these teams to be here on stage. They could have given up at any point in time, but they are here today. It tells you that they have not given up. And I do hope that they never give up. Because of you, there are kids that know that across the ocean, somebody cares about whether they wash their hands. Because of you, there's that freshman that was scared coming to UMD, wondering whether they will survive at a new institution, and now they have an internship. And because of you, one other thing. And because of you, there are lives that have been changed forever and for good. So, to you as the audience, I know while they were pitching and talking to you, you had some ideas. Something popped in your mind like, oh, maybe that could work for them. Oh, I have this contact. Let that not stay in your mind. Take action like they did, like they took courage, and they are here today. So make those connections. Encourage them. Because sometimes when they're right about to give up, it takes one of you to say, hey, you are doing great. You're doing amazing. I was just talking to Dean Orr, and he told me after you come into this event and you go back, you look at your challenges and say, oh, they're nothing. Because you have people in here that support you each and every day, and I hope that as an audience member, you look at them and figure out ways in which you support them and propel them forward. So, with that said, we are moving now to the announcement of our winners. I would say this was the hardest. I've done this twice, and with all the other judges, we can say that this was one of the hardest challenges we had to judge, because each of them are doing incredible work, and it's just hard to really quantify what the difference is. So to all of you here, no matter what our decision is, we just had to choose a winner, and these are the ones that we settle with, but you are doing incredible work, and none of these to deter you from the journey that you've already embarked on. In third place, we have Public Health Without Borders, Beyond Borders. You've been in existence for so long, and you are standing the test of time, and you are changing lives across the ocean. We know that there are so many challenges in that effort, but you are breaking those barriers and reaching last mile individuals that need your help. We encourage you to really dive into your sustainable impact, your monitoring and evaluation of the work that you've been doing, because we know that you're making a difference. We would like to see more of those in continuity overall. And you have a lot of power here at the University of Maryland, in the School of Public Policy. A lot of institutions that you're already working with leverage their collective strength to amplify the work that you're doing. But really, kudos to you. And now, in first place, drum roll, I think this deserves it. We go with first place first. In second place? No, we go with first place. And in first place, we have AppDev Club. You figured out a problem, a unique problem facing students here at UMD, and you went in and solved that problem end to end. You've identified that students that come in may not get all of the skill sets that they need to be ready for the market, and you are addressing that challenge for them. You've identified that organizations want to do good, and they need ways in which they can do good, and you are helping them solve that problem. And you have identified that diversity in tech is very, very important, and you are solving that problem. These are some of the reasons why we said, hey, there is a lot of potential here, and there is a lot that you can do. We would just like for you to dive a little bit more into what it takes to really do this, clarify the cost, the financials around the work that you're doing, but we are really excited for the work that you have already started and the path that you are on. Congratulations. And now in second place, Dare to Dream. We are so certain that you will be successful. You have the certainty for the future. The moment we ask you the question, what you will be doing, you are sure that this is going to be forever. We really love the fact that you are building community, you have clarity of purpose, and you're creating intergenerational relationships. Our encouragement to you is to really make those communities work together, make those generational relationships, build on those intergenerational relationships, and then really solidifying your value proposition. But kudos to you, and again, this was not an easy decision, and we are really proud of all the teams that were here today. Thank you. And now I'll pass it to Megan to announce the venture track.
Thank you, Cedric. As others have said tonight, the Do-Good Institute is inspiring and putting into practice young people to change the world and really to create a more sustainable, resilient future for everyone. And I think what has really stuck out to me in a lot of different people's remarks tonight is just the people-centric focused, and to not lose sight of that each of these students and projects, the number of lives that they are impacting, and hopefully everyone in the audience is then inspired to do the same. So just a big kudos to everyone in the Do Good Institute putting this on tonight, and to all of the participants and students and those in the audience as well. With that, we did have to make some decisions nonetheless. And in the venture track, this was very challenging for us. We had, it was very hard to make a decision. We were so impressed by the mission of all three of these projects and programs. And again, nonetheless, we had to decide. So in third place, we have Game Changers. With Game Changers, we thought that the sustainability and access that you provide to underserved communities to be able to participate in sports and have the sports equipment was very impressive. We would have liked to see a bit more around how you can proactively reach different organizations and what it would look like to scale. And huge congratulations, and we can't wait to see what you do with the organization. In first place, drum roll please, we have the Collins Foundation. Yeah. For us, the Collins Foundation taking what was such a really terrible tragedy and turning it into a national movement and driving for multi-pronged impact. We already saw that on the stage. I mean, with advocacy, with programmatic, with reaching different partners in all different sectors. It's truly impressive, and we are really looking forward to seeing what you do on the national scale. Congratulations. In second place, we have True Community. We were so impressed by the number that you all have already reached in the Train the Trainer model. We know that this is tried and true and that this works. One of your huge strengths also is the funding model, and in future pitches, you all should lead with that. We were very impressed by that point as well, and just a big congratulations to everyone on the stage. This is a huge celebration, and we're so excited to see what everyone goes out and does in the world.
All right, my friends, that concludes this year's Do Good Challenge. Woo! Woo! All right. We'll see you here next year, and until then, let's all go out and do good. Thank you.